Wendell Strode is with us. Who is Wendell Strode? National Corvette Museum Executive Director. Wendell Strode, welcome to the Big 550 KTRS here in St. Louis.
It's my pleasure to be with you this morning.
Tell us what happened the other day at the National Corvette Museum.
Well, we had a very interesting morning in that around 5:40 in the morning, we had a sinkhole that took took 8 Corvettes, but also fell in here in our Sky Dome, and it's about 40 feet wide. It's about 20 to 30 feet deep from looking at it from the top. But as our geologists have made us realize that for it to fall 25 or 30 feet, that it had to be 25 or 30 feet underneath that. So they're saying that it's probably about 60 feet to the bottom of the sinkhole.
How many cars were destroyed?
There were, I'd encourage us not to use the word destroyed.
Okay.
There were 8 Corvettes that went into the sinkhole with when it did collapse. We hope early next week to extract 3 of those Corvettes from the sinkhole, and then as we move forward, we are with the repairs and everything, the remediation, we plan to extract all 8 of the Corvettes. The GM Design Center in Warren, Michigan, Chevrolet Motor Division has worked with us, and they have got the GM Design Center to oversee the restoration of all 8 of the Corvettes. So we think after they're extracted and after we have a 2 or 3, 4 month display, then we'll be taking the Corvettes to Warren, Michigan, and they'll be as strong and better and beautiful as ever.
Wow. All right. Now, there's a story going around here that you guys are thinking about putting some type of plexiglass over the hole and having people walk over the hole and sort of see what actually happened?
Well, that was the great thing about the Corvette is that, it's following the passion that it has with its members, et cetera. So we've been getting lots of ideas, lots of suggestions, and one of those suggestions was to do that, and they made reference to what they had out at the Grand Canyon and how people can walk on that. So
right.
we have shared that with our construction manager, but we have not finalized that that's an appropriate way to handle the rebuild of the Sky Dome. But it's a possibility.
Yeah.
So you're still, it's not sound yet, right? That area around there, you're still trying to figure out how to get those out of there, right?
Well, the people that are involved, shall we say the experts, we have the number one geotechnical engineering and construction company in the world. It's a company called Hayward Baker. They have worked with these kinds of situations. They showed us pictures of one that they worked with in a manufacturing plant in Alabama. It was more like 100 feet deep and almost 200 feet across. But they talk about these things like you and I talk about, building a doghouse or something. But so they're very familiar with this. So they do have a plan. They have a plan. Basically, there's been 2 days of meetings with the geotechnical engineering firm, civil engineering firm, a structural engineering firm, a environmental health and safety engineering firm, the Western Kentucky University, who has a world-renowned Center for Cave and Karst Studies. They've been involved with us. So they're working with us on how to address the situation, how to correct the situation, how to rebuild. And at the same time, we're also wanting to, they have looked at the main museum building. The Sky Dome was a separate structure connected by hallways. So they have, they're going to be, they've looked at our building already, but they're going to be doing even more detailed studies with the microgravity piece of equipment that goes down about 25 feet and looks for voids, looks for holes. So, we're just thrilled to have a team that's been assembled and put together, and we might just say that Chubb Insurance, who's our insurance carrier, has been just great to work with, as has everyone in the Corvette community. And we have, some clubs in the St. Louis area that are just great to work with us and been here many, many times. But the outpouring of support, including donations, has just been wonderful. And, being a charitable organization, that's helped out as well. So we're just thankful that no one was hurt. We're thankful for the support that we're getting.
Yeah, absolutely. It was luckily that it happened because very easily somebody could have gotten injured, which would have been terrible.
Absolutely. And, just within a few minutes, we had staff that was here as part of their regular arrival times. So, we say thank you, good Lord, for letting it happen when it did. Probably 10 or 12 minutes later, we'd had staff arriving, and within 30 minutes, we'd had lots of staff here. So we're very thankful for that.
The Bowling Green, Kentucky is where the National Corvette Museum is. It's about 4.5 hours from St. Louis. You guys are just north of Nashville, Tennessee, in Bowling Green, Kentucky. So it's a great weekend trip for some St. Louis fans and friends to go and hang out at the National Corvette Museum. Wendell, of the 8 cars that were damaged, what were some of the Corvettes that were damaged?
Well, we had one that you can see from the pictures is a 1962. That was donated by a gentleman from Indianapolis area. It was a one owner, and he was called the Weatherman because he always checked the weather before he would take it out. He didn't use anything but 110 octane in it. And we tell folks that every car has its own story behind it. We had a 2001 ZR1 that had been a mallet hammer conversion that took the horsepower to 700, and some folks out of Tampa, Florida area had donated that to us. We also had the millionth Corvette and the 1.5 millionth Corvette from when they were built at the Corvette assembly plant. And by the way, I'm sure your listeners, most of them probably will know that the 1953 Corvette was made in Flint, Michigan, and then Corvettes were made in St. Louis from 54 until 1981, and then the Corvette assembly plant actually moved to Bowling Green. So there's a long history associated with St. Louis, and we have actually a little display here kind of dedicated to that. We also had a 40th anniversary, a 1993 Corvette that had been donated to us from a couple from Ohio. We had the ZR1 Spider, as it's referred to, and had a lot of history with that. We also had a what we refer to as the PPG Pace car. It was a one-of-a-kind concept car developed by PPG in cooperation with Chevrolet and General Motors. And I think I've covered them all.
Yeah,
that's 8.
There you go.
That's 8 of them. But,
well, I'll tell you what, it's great. I had no idea there was a National Corvette Museum until this, so maybe there is a blessing out of this. Nobody got hurt, and you're getting a lot of attention and showing a light on the Corvette, which was just named Car of the Year.
Yeah, a great honor. And I tell you, this 2014 C7, that is just, that car just wows you. And when people, we do a delivery, one of the options that you can have when you order a new Corvette is take delivery at the National Corvette Museum. And we've been real busy with that program since they released the 2014. But everyone just loves that car. And it's just beautiful, and of course technology and everything else that they've done to it is just awesome.
William Strode, thanks for checking in. Good to see that you guys, nobody got hurt, and good to see you're planning on rebuilding and then saving all those 8 historic cars. That's a great story. Bowling Green is right down Highway 64. East, you go about 4.5 hours, about 250 miles, and there you get Bowling Green, Kentucky. William Strode, thanks for checking in. Have a good day.
Our pleasure. Thank you, McGraw and Kelly.
You got Wendell Strode, National Corvette Museum Executive Director, here on the Big 550 KTRS.